It's not uncommon that I'll do some video blogs and I'll throw out a little bit of a caveat in the introduction that says, hey, this is probably going to be for someone who is maybe a year, 6 months, a few years down the road. Today's a video that I'm really going to do for those that are within maybe the first 6 months. Because the first 6 months are really difficult. They're overwhelming. Your heart, your mind, your soul feels shredded. And you feel like everything has been shattered around you. And today I'm going to ask you to do a bit of a reassessment about where you're at in life. And to be a little bit more specific, I'm going to ask you, what are you standing upon in life? Because I think if you're going to heal, if you're going to move forward, you're forced to reassess your life and reassess what you're standing on, both in your marriage, sure, but in your life as an individual, as someone who's facing crisis and turmoil, either as an unfaithful or a betrayed. You're going to have to reassess what you are building your life upon. I was talking to someone just the other day and they said to me, everything that I've relied upon has been shattered. Everything that I hoped in, everything that brought me joy, everything that I felt I was building my life upon has been shattered. So Samuel, now what? Well, I get it. I've been there. I understand it. So I think what's important is that you begin to understand, what are you going to stand upon as you are faced with starting over, maybe relationally, or at least on a personal level, having to start over after you've maybe lost everything or are in danger of losing everything. I think there's an opportunity for you to recalibrate yourself and say, okay, what am I going to stand upon in life? What is going to be my foundation? And so today I'm going to give you some things that I've learned, and I think some of them might not shock you, but I think a few of them may kind of open your eyes up to the way infidelity changes you, specifically as an unfaithful. If you've watched enough of my videos, you understand I do come from a position of faith, but I understand coming from a position void of faith that's more of an agnostic or atheist view. For me, I never forsook my faith. It went through a complete reorg, I'll tell you that. But one of the chief things that I stand upon in life and have always stood upon in recovery work has been my faith. If you come from faith, your faith is going to be challenged. It's going to be purged. It's going to be reevaluated. It's going to be attacked, maybe even attempted to be undermined. And if you're going to stand upon that faith, you're going to have to really cultivate it. You're going to have to build it up. You're going to have to stir it. You're going to have to cultivate it on your own, because very few people are going to do it for you. If you don't come from faith, you're going to have to readdress, what am I building my life upon? What's important to me? What am I willing to die for in my own worldview that shapes me, that forms me, that shapes the way I interact with others and shapes the way I'm going to address crisis in my life? Number two is I've learned over the last 15 years, I can't change Samantha. I've wanted to. I've tried to. I've worked kind of hard to try and change her in some areas that I felt she needed to be changed. Now, some of you have already thrown up at the arrogance and the pride, but at least I'm honest. And I have come to a point in my life where I can't change her. If she wants to change, she's going to have to change. If she sees the need to change, she's going to have to confront that. But I can't make her change. I've given up trying to make her change. I love her as she is. She has changed. She has grown immensely. She's had to make some changes in life, and she's had to make some changes in marriage, because that's what marriage can do sometimes. But I have given up hope thinking that I'm going to change her. And I've given up the struggle to try and make her change in areas that I felt she needed to change. I can love her as she is. I can work on me. And if she's going to change, she's going to have to see the need to change. Now, sure, I've had to put up some boundaries. I've had to share some frustration and expectations and had to be very vulnerable and say, look, when this is done, I feel X, it hurts, or what have you. Sure, I've done those things, but I can't make her change. And I've given up trying to make her change. That is something I am standing upon and have stood upon for quite some time. Number 3 is I stand upon the fact that I live with great humility because I remember what I am capable of as a human being. I am constantly reminded every time I make a video of who I could become if I don't live true to my recovery standards and values. No, I'm not on the cusp of relapsing or running into a ditch morally at any given moment, but I live with a humility and an awareness of what I have done. I don't live in shame and condemnation and despair, but I live in humility knowing that, look, if I'm not careful, if I don't live true to the new standards that I've developed over the last 15 years, I could be right where I was. I don't live in judgment or shaming of other people. Oh, I can't believe that they would do that. Whoa, hold on there, big shooter. I couldn't believe that I did what I did, which helps me understand and be compassionate for people that have moral failure in their background, maybe multiple moral failures. How could I judge? I understand what I'm capable of. It forces a humility that I'm happy to live in now. Next is I'll never live for the applause of people ever again. I did that. I was an applause addict. I'll never live that way again. I'll never try and please everyone. I'll never live in such a way just to keep everybody happy. I've got some great friends. I've got a phenomenal, tight-knit, close family. I live for them to feel honor, to feel secure, to feel safe, to feel loved. But I'm not going to live for the applause of the masses. I'll never do that again. It's one of the most dangerous things I ever did. My next value then is an easy transition into I will always live with a family first mentality. And little subplot there, family doesn't mean what it used to mean. Family to me was, man, we're just all a big family. Even people I worked with, we're a big family. I've reevaluated that because I've been forced into a position by my own doing, but yet forced into a corporate setting where family didn't mean what I thought it meant. And that was eye-opening and alarming and heartbreaking. But I don't blame other people. I just have a standard now that I live in that family means something that it never meant. There's my close-knit family, absolutely. And then there's a small faction of people that are like family to me. But when people throw out, we're one big happy family, I go, we'll see, right? And that forces me or compels me to express another variable, which is friendship means a lot to me. It's always meant a lot to me, but then you lose everyone, and then you have a whole new appreciation for someone that's willing to be a friend or a brother to you. You have a whole new love for someone who, of their own accord, decides, hey, yeah, I want to be a friend, but not just a friend, like a brother, like a sister, someone who's close to you, and you think, man, these people mean everything to me. I cannot handle these relationships loosely. Another principle that I have believed in and maintained close to me is I can't want it for other people. I tried to make other people want it. I tried to even want it for them and kind of like passionately plea and constantly try and get them to want it. It means like getting healthy, pursuing restoration, maybe saving their relationship, maybe saving themselves, getting healthy, all that stuff. I've realized I can't want it for them. They have to want it. I can encourage, sure, I'm a good encourager. I'll support you, absolutely. I'll believe in you, pray for you, stand with you, but I can't want it for you. And I've come to see that sometimes people just don't want it. And one of the best things I can do is go, look, I love you, I care for you, but if you don't want it, you don't want it, and I get it. And I'll still love you, but I'm not going to constantly chase you to try and make you want to get healthy. Finally, something I've learned, and this is the one thing that Samantha wanted me to share, and I'll end with this. You're stronger than you believe you are. Samantha told me, I think there's one thing I would say is that I realized I was stronger than I thought I was. And a value that we stand upon is, look, we're stronger than we think. We've been through hell. We've learned how strong we are. We've learned how strong we are not. And if I could appeal to you, you are stronger than you think you are because you've made it this far. You're an easy audience for me to relate to because if you're watching these videos, you've probably been forced into a position of wondering how strong you are. Whether you come from faith or you don't, the fact is you've made it this far and you can keep going. You're going to come out on the other side. The choice is, what kind of person will you be? But you're watching this video, you're engaged with me, you're listening to this. The fact is you're trying to get better. Believe me when I say you can do more than you think you can. You can get healthier than you think you can. You're going to get healthier than you think you are going to be if you just don't quit, if you just learn to stand upon the values that you hold true to your heart.